A question I get asked a lot is how to find a value for a specific item. People will either leave a comment or email me about, I've got this and I'm wondering how much it's worth. So I'm going to go in depth a little bit about how I determine values for an item. It's Friday morning and I've got 4 orders going out the door. Let's get to work. Sold a couple of spark plugs. I got maybe 100 spark plugs, maybe about a year ago. A lot of different model numbers and everything. And I only paid like 50 cents a piece, and they've been selling pretty regularly. These 2 here sold for $8, free shipping. Sold a pennant, Denver Nuggets. That just has a really cool logo to it. I got this in a lot of pennants maybe 2-3 months ago, and I've sold all but 3 of them. This one here sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Okay, next thing is actually in a bin that I was working in yesterday. Sold pretty quickly. This is a Michael Jordan wall mount little basketball hoop. This is in that bulk buy I just recently made, and it sold for $14.99 plus shipping. A viewer named Dallas bought that, and they left a note and said, "Keep doing what you do. Merry Christmas to you and your family from Texas." Thank you so much for the support, and Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Okay, next is a chess game. This was in that Louisville buy I made, so I don't think I have much into this. It's sold for $9.99 plus shipping. And that is going out to a viewer named Caleb. He says, "Big fan of the channel. This will be a great gift for my dad." Caleb, thank you, man. I really hope your dad likes that. A question I get asked a lot is how to find a value for a specific item. People will either leave a comment or email me about, I've got this and I'm wondering how much it's worth. So I'm going to go in depth a little bit about how I determine values for an item. Okay, for example, I just bought this Heathcliff plush toy the other day. It's like a 24-inch like plush doll thing. If you guys remember, Heathcliff was a cartoon like the 80s and 90s, I think. And I'm going to use this as an example of how I determine value. So I just pop it right in the eBay app, search Heathcliff plush. Then I always hit completed listings first, and that is going to search all the completed listings in the last 90 days, and it's going to give you a number of results. So there's 45 results. I'm sure most of you guys know that the red means it didn't sell, green means it did sell. So after I get that number of 45 completed in the last 90 days, I then hit sold. So it's telling me that there are 24 that sold in the last 90 days. So of those 45, 24 of them sold. So they've got a little bit more than 50% sell-through rate, which is pretty good. Then I'm looking to find a specific comp to what mine is. Mine was a 24-incher, and there aren't many like that. So the price of this one was a little bit more difficult. But in general, what I'll do is I look at the sold prices of an item and I try to find the average. So once I get that number, that average number, that's kind of what I use as a basis to price my item. Okay, if you're still with me, here's the next step. Then I deselect the completed and sold, and I'm now looking at active results, okay? There are 74 active results for Heathcliff plush. So that's a lot of listings, considering that only 24 have sold in the last 90 days. Based on that math, if only 24 are selling every 90 days, it might take another 9 months for all these to sell. So that tells me that the supply is significantly greater than the demand. In this case, I would probably price my item pretty aggressively, okay? And you've got all these active comps to go off of. And like I said, I've already figured out what the average price is. So in this case, I would typically price my item a little bit below average so that it might sell a little quicker. I don't want to hang on to this thing for a year or longer, so I want to move it. However, if there was only maybe like 5 listings, I might price it above average. Let the market dictate what you're going to price it at. Don't have a number in your head. Don't go into something, seeing an active listing. Somebody's trying to get $100, it's worth $100. Do just a little bit of research. I usually like to spend 2 to 3 minutes kind of figuring out what a value of something is. So you'll run across things that you won't find any comps for whatsoever. I personally like to use worthpoint.com. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that, but it actually goes back years and years and years of eBay results and helps give you some kind of value. If you have something rare, unique, you can't find a value for, the best practice is to just price it really high You know, start it super high, a couple $100, $500 or whatever, and go from there, because you can always come down, but if you go too low and it sells, you can't go up from there. So that's how I do it. So when you guys are trying to find values on things that you're selling on eBay, just do a little bit of research and you'll be okay. What's up, guys? It's Thursday morning and I have a handful of eBay orders going out the door today. Let's get to work. First thing is this Sugar Ray die-cast car. This is in that bulk buy NASCAR cars that I bought. So I've got just under $7 into each one. This one sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Next thing is right here in C4. This is a jersey patch and autograph of Corey Patterson from the Chicago Cubs. I only got a couple dollars into this. It sold for $14.99 plus shipping. That's going out to a viewer named Frank, who is a Cubs fan. And Frank, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. But look out next season, because the Reds are coming for the Cubs. Sold another one of those launch rail toys. I'm into these for like $1, $2, something like that. It sold for $12.99 free shipping. Sold a Kevin Harvick car. I think I had this listed for like $15 or $20 or best offer, and I had some watchers on it, so I sent out an offer of $12 plus shipping, and someone accepted. Sold a Goofy plush toy. I've got less than $1 into this guy. He sold for $9.99 plus shipping. And finally, I sold a purse. I've had this for quite some time. I've got less than $1 into it. I had it listed for like $20 or best offer. I sent out an offer of $12 plus shipping, and someone accepted. Got some pretty cool viewer mail this week I wanted to show you guys. First thing comes from Martin. He says, "Dear Cincinnati Picker, I'm a huge fan of your videos. I find myself watching them and wondering if I have any cool stuff I could sell. I even find myself walking around shops thinking, what could I get for that?" I actually do that too. If I have tough days in the office, I watch one of your videos. Thanks, and keep up the videos. They help in tough days. Martin also sent a couple things with that note. He sent this Joe Morgan card. It's really cool. It's got like a ring like inserted into it, and a signed Jay Bruce bat. That is very cool. Thank you so much, Martin. I really appreciate it. Next is from Ivan. He says, "Thank you, John, for all the info you share about eBay. It's a big help." He sent this vintage Cincinnati Reds mug, this little stuffed bear, which I'm thinking might be for my daughter, which she will probably love, and a Reds clock. Thank you so much, Ivan. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.